We just go home and get started. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Will you? Yeah. Would you? Porch Podcast. Huh? The Porch Podcast. Come on. The Porch Podcast. Huh? Porch Podcast. Episode 82. What you gonna do? Eat on the mic, blowing sick like flu. Keep on going. I'ma keep on growing. Y'all be knowing that I'm back to the zone. I'm back in the home. Remember that show, Coneheads on the phone? Let me get to the top. I don't really care. I'ma just Ricky Rock like tick tock, click clock, flick flop, deep pop, Scoopy Dee Doo like Kanye West. I'm done. Y'all already know I'm the best. Know why? Why? Cause it's the Porch Podcast. Come on, huh? And it's the Porch Podcast. Praying with them, huh? And it's the Porch Podcast. Come on, let's the Porch Podcast. Let's go. But you had to play with him. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
P original, baby. Let's do it. Let's
do it. And we call this episode right here Research. Episode 82. Research.
You gotta do your research, man. When you out here, jumping out here head first into this traffic or running out here in this thing of life,
right?
Talking about all you got is your word and your you know what, and that's what you're gonna stand on.
Right.
Just let it be known, man. You better do your research.
You know what I'm saying? You better do. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a problem. If you don't know, now you know.
Exactly. So, with that being said, man, been doing a lot more research, on myself.
Right.
I did a lot more research on myself.
Well, that's the best thing to do, though. I'm being honest with you.
Right. Like, how do you really research yourself, though? Right? How do you really do that?
You tell me.
Because, even if you ask, right, think about this for a minute. Even if you ask somebody else their opinion of you, right?
Right.
All they're doing is giving you their opinion. Like, that's not really research, right? That's just their opinion.
Right.
Right? So, like we talked about in episode 81 about doing right, I think that's what happened. It triggered that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start to work on, like, all right, if I'm truly going to say that I'm going to do right, if I'm truly going to do right, it's going to require me to do some research.
Right.
It's going to require me to dig deep down within, my, conscious mind and really say, am I actually prepared to make the changes that I'm going to have to make?
Right.
Am I actually prepared for it? Or, am I being led by a desire to want more in life, do more in life, and all of those different things?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I really going to submit to the reality that I haven't done all I can possibly do? I just simply haven't done my best.
You haven't done your best, right? I understand.
I believe that. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that, honestly speaking, it's a motivator when you realize that every time I make a motivational video,
right,
I want to do better than the video I did before. That's the measuring stick.
Right.
But then, in your mind, you also reflect back on that thing that you just did, and you say to yourself, I could do better.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you hit the mark in life, even when you do right by all the things that we were talking about, like doing right before. Mm-hmm. If you don't do some research, if you don't really be able to look back and look at the things that you have done, I don't know how you move forward. I don't know how you move forward without your research, man. I don't know how you don't move forward without, really, really knowing where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't know where you go, you're going to run smack dab into a brick wall.
Yeah, I don't even know how you even move.
Right.
Like, if you don't know, like, for instance, if you can't swim, might want to research how deep the pool is.
Right. I do it all the time.
You know what I'm saying? You might want to take a little time, look around. It says 3 feet here, I don't know what it is. You ever looked at it and noticed at the hotels and places that you stay? they always got this weirdness about like it's not just 5 feet here. It's 5 feet 5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 feet 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of times, and the reason why I'm pointing that out is because when you do research, you take notice to your surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
right? You pay attention to the things that's changing around you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in the pool and it's fun when you're in 3 feet and you splash and whether you can swim or not, there's just things that you can do in that end of the pool because, well, you've done your research and you understand that I need about this much of my body to be outside of the water so I can do certain things.
Right.
Now, I apply that same concept of looking and paying attention to the depths of the water in the pool with most things in life. Right? Mm-hmm. Like if you don't take the time to really research, you can be in either deep water. It's like when you cut the sink on. You got to look at which way you turn the knob, depending on like in my case, my kitchen sink has one knob, so to speak. It's the way that all right. So if you got to either go left or right, if you go left, it's going to be in my house. Exactly. It's going to be hot water. If you go to the right, it's going to be cold water. I think life's the same way. Mm-hmm. I think if you need to walk in and you need to do some research, right? Because no matter what, even though you're stepping up to something, it seems like it's only one choice. In all actuality, if you don't research to see how it goes, you can push that lever too far to the right. Now it's icy cold. Go too far to the left. Now it's extremely hot. Or you can research and find out how to find that sweet spot.
That's sweet spot.
That's what we're gonna dive into this week, man. That's what we're gonna jump on, and that's the concept, man. Research, man. Make sure that you guys out there doing your research. Mm-hmm. Don't put yourself in a position that you don't have to be in.
I've learned before, I can't say I just learned it, but it's like anything else. Sometimes if you don't stay with it, you'll forget, you'll lose it.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So I learned research about myself by a collection of data. A lot of times, if we're writing a paper in school, mm-hmm. or purchasing a new car,
right,
or a home,
right,
we don't take information just from one source.
No.
Even if you're buying something off one of these sites like Amazon, mm-hmm. I'm one of the guys to go read the reviews.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
To take a collection of data to understand. I do that with myself. And the reason why one of the most difficult things you could do with yourself is honestly critique yourself. Mm-hmm. Because who thinks something's wrong with them?
Right.
You think the average person always tries to find a justification on why they do things.
Yeah, pretty much.
But however, when you have multiple people mm-hmm. who are not in the same circle,
right,
saying to you the same thing, mm-hmm. you may need to take heed and understand and find a way of something to realize that's something that I need to work on. Mm-hmm. I was often told in my day, mainly from females when I was single and all that, that I talked too much. That I was talking too much, but they enjoyed my conversation. And what they meant by I was talking too much is they all said the same thing. It just was the word that they used, but that's not exactly what they told me. One really broke it down, then another one broke it down. They all said the same thing, and they didn't know each other. And they said, I come to you sometimes just for you to listen to me. But often when you go to rebuttal or give me advice, you take over the conversation. Right? Mm-hmm. To the point where it becomes about you. So I did turn around and explain to him, it's not about me. You may often hear me refer to myself because I'm only speaking off personal experiences of my own. I don't like to include, when I'm using somebody for an example for the most point, and especially if it's going to be something negative, I don't like to include other people. I'm not saying I never did, but I include myself. I really like to reflect on myself and my own personal experiences. But then I really listen to what they were saying. When I come talk to you, I just want you to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking listen as hearing and doing what they telling me to do. Instead of saying they just need my ear. They just want me to be a listening ear. So I prayed on it. Researched some scriptures in the Bible. Because, basic instruction before leaving earth. Listen, religious people, whether you're religious or not, whether you study the Quran, you study the Bible, you got to stand for some of you fall for anything. However, all the lessons that's inside of what you follow teach you certain things. And one thing that was inside the Bible, it said from the book of James, be slow to speak, but quick to listen. It registered. Hell, the 48 laws of power, I don't know which law it is. It says, don't always talk. When you talk all the time, you're bound to say something foolish. So sometimes I just had to listen. So I started listening. And then when I was going to therapy and talking to therapists and things of that nature, I learned about active listening. Because sometimes people will be telling you stuff and you want to help them, but helping them may not come from your words. Helping them may just come from you being quiet and being that listening ear.
Right.
So I had to research myself and learn that sometimes I could be just effective by not saying nothing.
I get it.
That was from a collection of data, though,
Yeah, I get it. Like I said, bro, I'm one of them people that when I, once again, when I make these videos and I do my motivational Mondays and I do my quotes of the day and all those things, I'll go back and look at it myself as if I almost don't even recognize that's me doing the talking. I do it all the time.
Right.
Because for me, the most critical person that can be on me is me.
Right.
Because most people can't take like criticism, like even with the research element of things, right? You not criticize a person intentionally, but you don't know what a person is always going to take as criticism.
Right.
Right. And then what variation or version of criticism is really up in the air. Right. So when you say what you say, some people are already quick to have the defensive on. I don't care what nobody say when I do this, that, and the third. Cool. That's already how you feel. So no matter what, no matter research, what comes back your way from feedback or whatever, you already built on, you don't care what they're going to say anyway.
I don't care what people say.
Right. So when you look at it from the perspective of, me neither, brother. I know what happened, though. I know what happened.
No, it's okay.
It'll come down here.
I got a question. I got a real question for you. Seriously, how many purchases did it take for you to realize what your favorite spot was to get your best blast? I just really want to know. Well, that's what I know. That's what I know. P got to think about. He stopped. He just go like he just shake his head.
Yeah. Because that would require some major research.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking you how many purchases, because that was your research. The purchases was your research.
Well, in theory, wherever you made your first purchase, because they said that you never kind of can top that.
Yeah, but you're not a regular guy, so
not regular. I mean, I said it's usually wherever your first purchase was.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I'm asking you,
right.
was your first purchase your best blast?
That's usually how it works.
But was it yours?
It has to be. In my opinion, because there's no comparable. Right?
It has to be because you never made one.
Right. But all right, so let's dare to entertain it, right? I mean, until you get the original effect. Yeah, you don't know, So right. That's a fair question, E.
Right.
Because Mom used to say blasted. She wasn't talking about, that's a fair question.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going to
Blasted.
say wherever the original blast came
Yeah.
from, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, it is what it is on that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
my response to that question. I mean, hey man, my thing is
Listen.
this though.
What?
Is when it comes to
is when it
the
comes.
purpose of researching and how detrimental it could play. I
Uh,
think that, most people would have to say that when they got ready to do something, when they took the time to really, really look into it before they jumped, they felt a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident when they made the attempt. Like you said earlier, with some of these sites where you make these purchases and you look at some of the star reviews and some of the whatever, I forget what they call them joints, the like not like testimonies, but
in the reviews.
the reviews,
In the
right? So
positive
like
and
wherever,
negative reviews, yeah. The
right? So
ratings.
when you the ratings, there it is, ratings, the reviews, and all those.
Yeah.
Like even when we get ready to travel, you know what I mean? We can be psyched up, sold on the spot. You all want to go to whatever the name of the place is. You know what I mean? Like recently with the whole situation when we went on different trips, bruh. You went someplace, I went someplace. There was a ton of research that was done. Now the research to me changes when the objective changes,
Right.
right? But then you still got some universal things that are standard, right?
Right.
So even when you research it, like you have everybody, like you said before, everybody has a standard. Whether they know what it is or not is up to them. But everyone has a standard.
Right.
And you only get a standard by honestly experiencing different things, doing your research, and coming up with things that's going to be comfortable for you.
Right.
Like, I can't sit up here and act like every time I stayed in a hotel, I was ecstatic about it or, excited about the one that I chose. But at the end of the day, guess what I had to go on? I had to go on enough positive reviews,
Right.
which ain't nothing but enough positive, positive research that these people did, or testimonials or reviews of what they seen with it in their experience. And then at some point, you got to make a decision.
Right.
But I just feel like if you at least do some research, man, you won't always be totally blindsided by things like that, man. Like, that's my main thing. You know what I mean? It's just know enough to know that you can live with whatever the percentage is that it may work and may not work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Everything ain't gonna be for everybody, like you said, bruh. You get ready to go out to a nice restaurant or something like that. Once you get past with your lady, you know what I mean, what you want to eat, bruh. Once that go through for about a half hour, 27 minutes, somewhere around
Right.
in there,
Right.
you know, hopefully you ain't left the house yet and you can just make the decision. Um, you do some research. Like it's a little bit different. Quick meal, something like that. I don't do too much research, but when you start thinking about something that means something like a nice anniversary dinner or a
Mm-hmm.
nice birthday dinner spot or something like that, you checking things. What's the ambiance?
What's
What's
the
the dress
ambiance?
code?
Right.
You know what I mean? What's the prices looking like on the menu? These are all things. What do you think you're doing? You're researching. Well, that's the same way that I think that we need to approach everything in life.
Even people as
Now,
smallest things is like they go to certain bars and somebody told them like, oh, they don't sell Henny. And Hennessy
yeah,
is their drink. You
yeah.
know, that could be a term, but somewhere they got that research to understand that. You know what I mean?
Even the people that didn't put it in there, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah,
basically what we telling you, man, is for you to do right. You know what I mean? You have to do research on yourself to understand where you need to work on at.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. You got to
That's all
self
it is.
reflect, man. You got to
Yeah.
do it. Like, and there's a very fine line, or it's a very, um, I want to say a midway, right? There's a midway, so you can do all the research that you want to your heart's desire. But there's a term that is used when you over research things, and sometimes you can have what's known as paralysis by analysis when you overly analyze things, right? When you over research things. I know that sounds like it's not, something that could possibly happen, but research can be productive and it can be crippling at the same time.
Right.
Because at some point or another, you need to have enough. It's like you want to have an outfit for everything that might happen when you're on vacation, but you can't take your whole wardrobe.
Right.
The only thing you can do is kind of research what you possibly gonna need when you're on vacation or wherever you're going, business situation or whatever, and try your best to pack accordingly.
I'm getting
I
better
can't
and
t-
better The packing.
but you know how that works because you keep traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Because you keep traveling. And what you realize is, after doing a rough research, you say, yo, I took this with me on the last 3 trips. And I never opened it.
Right.
It could be what? It could be anything. Bro, the last time we just went to Sandals and we took one of those carbon monoxide detectors.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we take it? Because when we were researching things, there was a situation that transpired at one of the resorts. So what did we decide to do? We decided to pack one and take it with us. Yeah, and I took it out, plugged it up. Now what's funny is that purchase doesn't happen without research.
Absolutely.
But it was important to know that, right? So one may say, okay, cool. That's something that you now becomes a regular occurrence to go in your bag, as long as it's not problematic wherever you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got other things that you will bring with you all the time, right? That you never, ever really utilized. I try to, it's funny because it almost becomes like a game. And
Right.
like you said, you're getting better at it. It almost becomes like a game to find out how to pack exactly what you're going to need.
Right.
But who wants to play it that close?
Nobody.
Like, it's a little bit different, right? Like, a lot of times I go places and no matter what I got in my bag, I'm probably still going to buy something when I get where I'm going. Strong possibility. Because there's things there I might want. But on the flip side of that situation, my research has already expressed or told me that my mind needs to be, better equipped at being able to understand what I need in life and not over analyzing the things that may or may not happen.
And what helps you with that?
Staying away from what doesn't help you.
And what would that be?
I stay away from carnivals. I stay away from barbershops.
Talcum.
I stay away nurseries. Mm-hmm. Anywhere where that situation may be present in terms of anything that could be remotely confused with being something.
But you still
right.
put up sheetrock. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. Sheetrock. Sheetrock is still in effect. Do you use stilts to get it up high so you can be as high as you can be?
Hey, man. I did some more research, and guess what I researched, brother?
What's that?
I'm going to let the people know. Through my research, I saved y'all some time. Yes, I did.
Yes, we did.
I saved y'all some time. And what I came up with was a lot of people out there need events.
They need events planned.
They need events planned, and they need things done.
Right.
And they need to find a place in a company that can handle all of the needs.
Absolutely.
Well, guess what?
We got one.
Me and E, the brothers from the Porch, happen to know just such company. Hey, E, let them know who it is. Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate, all right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full-service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full-service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back, and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there. Get that party booked and get it done. Back to the show.
Front and center events. Well, here's the thing I want you to know. If you need an event with red cups or champagne glasses, front center events got you. That's all I wanted to say. And you know how I know? You know how I know, right, P?
Right, how you know, bro?
Look into the camera. I did my research.
There you go. There you go.
I did my research.
Well, good, man. But no, but more importantly, like I said, man, we got to find that sweet spot between, once again, doing our research and paralysis by analysis. I made
that man always got him a little rhyme. What you say?
paralysis by analysis,
I
right?
thought I thought paralysis was some type of like medical type. Let me leave that
It
shit
is
alone.
like basically, basically in more of a layman's term, you let them
It's
finish
like
up.
being paralyzed.
But basically, in layman's term, it's like being paralyzed by overly analyzing something.
Oh, I do know some people that are very analytical.
Right.
They play devil's advocate with their self their whole time and never get anything done because they constantly playing devil's advocate. They would talk themselves in and out of some shit over and over and over again to the point where
Right.
they won't even try to do it. But in all
That's what I'm saying.
actuality, it's cool to do research on both. You just
Yeah.
and the thing about research is common things that work and common things that don't work, and then being able to find that sweet spot where you know it will.
Exactly, bruh.
Because there's always a
No,
way. When
that's
there's
it.
a will, there's a way. You know what
No,
I
you're
mean?
absolutely right. Yeah.
But guess what? You
What's
know
that?
what? Honestly, that I researched that make you understand well, what's a will, what's a way, and what actually lets you get to the promised land after doing research. What really, really gets you there?
What's
You
that?
research has to have a relation to pressure. Okay,
Okay.
let's go back to the sink. Go too far to the right, it's cold. Go too far to the left, it's too hot. Find that
Hmm.
sweet spot in the middle.
No doubt.
But everybody's temperature ain't the same. So
Right.
it's
And
so
their
it's
ability to take it too. Right.
right.
What they
So
can
that's where the
sustain it
pressure
too. Right.
comes at. That's where the pressure come at. How
Yeah.
much pain? How much could you take?
Yeah.
Some people gonna give
Yeah.
up early. Some people gonna go
Yep.
longer.
Yep.
But research
Yep.
ain't gonna do nothing to you but teach you
Right.
what's the common do's and don'ts and things that happens. The
Right.
common reactions. You know what I
Right.
mean? It don't take a
Absolutely.
rocket science to know. Everybody used to see the little suspense movie with a dude that was beating up his wife. He's sitting in the tub. She get tired of it and shit. She come in there,
Throw that toast in there.
throw that toast in there, the radio or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
about you. If I listen, I would have told these niggas. Listen. If I was beating on anybody, I ain't never taking a motherfucking bath while they while they home. You not gonna get me that. Or back in the day, every scary movie had the person in the shower and then you see the hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yank, yank,
Yeah.
yank, yank.
Yeah. Yeah.
While everybody's shadow was scary as shit. I know one thing. Listen, after my research, I walk in the room. Grandma got the TV on. I see that fat ass Alfred Hitchcock up there. Good night. I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see this shit. That's research, bitch. You know what I mean? What you doing with the Clark Kents on, man? What the fuck is going on? We got on Clark Kents. What's going on, man? When did you start doing this research? Let's make it.
So, so let me keep it real, right? Let me keep it real. bruh, I had to get me some readers, man. I had to get me some readers, man.
So that's what I gotta look forward to when I turn 44.
I don't know what you might, what it may be. I mean, you might be cool. You might not have this. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm gonna say is that,
You look like
in
mom
order
looking
to
more
do
too.
in order to do some research, I had to have I had the right tools, right?
Yeah, the right.
So that's
Yeah,
so that's leading me to this part of the conversation.
right.
In order to do your research, you gotta have the right tools. And in this case, with these readers, what I had to come to grips with one day is that in order for me to continue to acquire any kind of knowledge in anything, I had to be smart enough to realize that you need the right tools for the right job. And sometimes we so busy trying to figure out what the power tool is, what the expensive tool is,
Right.
and sometimes it's something as simple as a pair of $5 readers. Sometimes, in order to be able to see things clear, you have to realize that you're going to need some help. And you got to make those adjustments when the time comes, right? so
Right.
that your analysis or that your paralysis isn't connected to an inability to be able to acquire the research, but you can see things clear,
Right.
right? Different perspective. So when I was talking to a few people about different things, and like you, bro, I know some people too who kind of like get stuck on, I don't know if you call it research mode or whatever. They get fixated with a particular thing. They lock into it, and before you know it, they've talked themselves, like you said, in and out of it, in and out of it, to the point where you say to yourself, you even honestly, if you're cool enough with them, you say to them, you go, yo, you could have done it twice by now.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized along the way that some people just don't know how to allow themselves to move and act on their research. They won't do it. They won't do it no matter what.
Let's just go ahead and clap. I'm proud of you. You know why? You needed the right tools. That dollar kept missing, so you needed to get the readers to line you up, to get your blast right connected right back. He was rolling the dollar. You thought you wasn't rolling it correctly and everything. You know what I mean?
Glasses go away now.
Yeah.
Now the glasses go away.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
They appear to be a distraction.
They're not a distraction. Yeah, they're not a distraction.
Some reason they came out.
This is the distraction. He has not been around in a while. Magical Merlin has brung back the Earth Angel, Earth Angel. Would you be mine? I turned the radio on the other day. That shit was on the radio. My darling dear. I'm like, whoa.
You figured that it was time for you to insert that back into the show.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, man. Lately, I've been listening to Phil Collins, man. I'm telling you that one more night.
What you mean? What it is?
One more night.
Awesome artist.
One more night.
Yeah.
'Cause I can wait forever.
Something that you recently researched that blew your mind. Besides the obvious.
No, it really was something recently. Damn.
That blew your mind.
That blew my mind.
That made you go, wow. Oh, okay. Okay. That's impressive. Like one of the things that you told me.
Believe it or not, me being a DJ.
Okay.
For the first time, and I ain't finished listening to all the thing, I cut on. I guess I was biased back in this time in '96, but I cut on the All Eyes on Me album.
Yeah, you
right?
were just telling me that. That's right.
Right. And I was listening, and I always knew he was good, but I realized why people always have Pac as high as they do. However, what blew my mind is, even through this East Coast, West Coast beef and all this was going on, I didn't know that Red Meth was on his album.
Wow.
And I heard the song before, but didn't realize it was on All Eyes on Me at the time.
Wow.
So I'm listening. I'm in Jamaica in the gym, and I'm just listening to, you know what I mean? And then I heard Meth's voice. I'm like, pausing. I'm like, damn, Meth and Red both was on this album, even in the midst of this East Coast, West Coast shit.
What song?
You go ahead and talk to him. I'll give you the name of it. Go ahead. You talk to him. You talk to him.
Well, I mean, hey man, I can't stress enough finding that sweet spot like we talking about with the research and the paralysis by analysis. It's nothing wrong with being analytical. I tell people all the time it's cool to know what you know, but at some point you have to move on what you know. Like you can't consistently gather information, right? Because the way I see it, it always works like this. First, You have an interest. Then that interest grows into a desire. That desire, which is basically going to be the fire that's needed to be able to acquire the thing that you're trying to get, needs to be fueled, right?
Right.
Not because of an inability to be excited about it, because you already have an interest and you're excited about it, but anything that becomes more attainable, maintains its interest. So when I turn around and I say that I want to be a motivational speaker, then I'm obviously going to look towards other people who do what? That do motivational speaking. Because that
Right.
is allowing me to be able to see the things that are required of me. Not to me for me to be a carbon copy of it, but to be able to see the things that are going to be needed from me to be able to operate in that arena.
Right.
Right? So in that case, when you look at it, the only thing that could create my paralysis by analysis is by consistently looking, trying to be every one of those people that I look at and research and actually pay attention to the things, the way they speak, their mannerisms, how they move, the things that they do to captivate an audience.
Right.
And if I turned around and the only thing I could do was just kind of just keep watching them, I'll never ever make the attempt. So even at some point, like even when you go into a place in a restaurant, even if you went into a buffet and the
Right.
buffet is beautiful, you got all of this different food. You can only put but so much of it on your plate before you have to eat.
Right.
You can only put, and so what winds up happening is with some people, they're so busy trying to figure out how do I get everything on this one plate, even though I'm not even this hungry, or I don't even know how to consume all of this right now. I don't know if I don't even know how to do it. You know what I mean? But I get this plate and I put a bunch of stuff on it. To me, those people will consistently try to eat and try to eat and try to eat to the point where they gorge themselves, and now at this point they can't operate. Well, doing your research will allow you to understand when you go into a place like that, just using that for an analogy, you see this and you say, well, yo, let me try this. Let me try this. If I really like this and I'm interested in it, maybe I'll get a little bit more of that.
Right.
Hence why the concept, if you really think about it, a buffet even came to be is because they knew psychologically, in my opinion, when they created them, they knew that the average person couldn't come inside of there and eat all of that food. They knew they couldn't. So what they did was they made food that they can make quickly, get out there. People thought that they were getting it for cheap, and then you heard all you can eat, which has the same impact as, unlimited miles and, you know what I mean, free this and free that. What winds up happening is in your research of those things, and that's what they did. They researched consumers and understood how people thought. They were able to create that avenue and that business model that allowed them to be able to make a ton of money doing that thing.
Oh, okay. I get it.
So if you really, really think about it, that's the difference between just building something between paralysis by analysis, right? Where
Right.
you could cook something, but you look around and you around other chefs and you look up and you say, well, I can't cook that yet. I need to learn how to cook that. And I can't cook that yet. I need to learn how to cook that. And I can't cook that, but you want to own a restaurant.
But you can cook crack. So this is what happened, right? Listen to me.
Yeah.
Listen. So the song is called "I Got My Mind Made Up," and
Come on.
it featured Red Meth, Daz, and Corrupt. However, I just did
Research
more.
that, y'all. Research that.
I just
Research
did. I just did more research.
That. Okay.
I just did more research on how the song came about, and it now explains how. The Dog Pound wanted Red Meth on their song. They created that song. So Red Meth did the song, I think, in like '95 with the Dog Pound. That's what this is coming out from Redman. And then when Pac came home in '96, he was looking for new material, and then he just came and added his verse, and then they put the song on Pac's album. So they never worked with him directly. They did that with the Dog Pound. So Red Meth had the relationship with the Dog Pound. Pac came home, needed new music because Pac was trying to do what he was doing. Because first of all, he set a 3-album deal with Death Row. And that first album he came in with All Eyes on Me was a double album. Mm-hmm. He came in, knocked out so that song went on there and became his song. So that's how that happened. See what research just brings you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And here it is. You asked me the question, and something I came across was like, wow. But now for me to understand the origin of it, I just had to do more research. That was a perfect example of what was going on or what needed to be done. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one thing that I didn't realize too, because I just always, you go back to 96, okay, when that album came out, I was 14, 15 years old, and I wasn't the biggest Pac fan back then, Once somebody started talking this East Coast, West Coast shit, I was riding East Coast all day. Like I knew these niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like I really knew them. But when I recently was just on vacation in Jamaica, beautiful Ocho Rios, took my Fire Stick. I took a tip out of P's book. However, I wasn't too successful with it because they Wi-Fi was just too slow. You know what I mean? You ever had those type of issues when you take them with you sometimes?
I've had that. You know what? I've done a few things with that as far as what they call the other thing. Google
Extender?
Chromecast.
Oh, yeah. So you just went off your phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where it could
So
so
I might have to get another one. I mean, actually use my iPad. But
yeah.
But what happened was, I'm watching. What was cool about Jamaica that was different from Mexico, they had a lot of good real TV. So they had BET.
Oh, you were straight.
I was straight. They had BET, they had HBO, ESPN. They had HBO East, West. All that was good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I cut on, for some particular reason on BET, they played every True to the Game in order.
There you go.
And then I was still up. I was in and out of that. Then I was up. And wife had fell asleep. I was still up. Sometimes I ain't always sleeping when I'm out the country like that. And All Eyes on Me came on. And I was like, yo, I've never watched this shit straight through. I've always seen little parts. You ever watched the movie All Eyes on Me?
Yeah.
The Tupac. Yeah, so I watched it and I'm looking. And what I discovered in that movie, that this particular album, that I didn't realize how much of a producer Daz was.
Yeah.
He produced one of my favorite Tupac. Boom, 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 booms. Boom, 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 boom. Then that's why it made sense when Cam redid it and it said featuring Daz Dillinger. But Daz never said a word on the song because he made the beat. I didn't realize that. As much as I was in
it
tune.
Seemed like one of the simplest beats in the world too, though,
yeah.
man.
The way they do it in the movie is dope though. It was like he came in, he like, you see they playing it and Pac like this, he was like, yo, Dad, slow that down a little bit. He slowed it up like boom, 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 boom. And his face like, bitch, this the one, right? And I won't deny it. I'm a straight ride. Boom, 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 boom. That's my shit. I was listening to that all day today.
It's certain songs, bruh, that like they're the Ambitions of a Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Hail Mary, obviously.
That was on the Machiavelli album, which was the third album that he made for out of that deal. But technically the second, but it counted as the third because the first one was a double.
Yeah, man, that's research for you, brother. Mm-hmm. It's research for you. Yeah, man, we're going to, I don't know if you want to get into some questions this week,
Yeah. What is it, this or that, or Would You Rather?
We're gonna roll out with the Would You Rathers again, brother.
Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather. Would you rather do this? Would you rather do that? We can do the this or that's if you rather, we do Would You Rather. But would you gather and glather? Sometimes you gotta get your hands right in lather. But don't do nothing crazy. Let's get to the show.
Man,
Let's
start
get
the
to
show, man. Going off, yo. Hey,
Red
welcome
Cup,
to another
Red
week of
Cup
Would You
Chronicles.
Rather. Red Cup. All right, sponsored by this week's Would You Rather is sponsored by the Red Cup Chronicles.
Red Cup Chronicles.
You know, would you rather be a genius and know everything, or be amazing at any activity that you tried?
Knowledge is power. Genius.
All right.
Because I know
Would you
a lot
rather?
of broke amazing people. But I know some broke geniuses too, but they're really not geniuses if they broke. Let's keep it real.
Okay. Would you rather dine alone or watch a good movie by yourself?
Um, Always depends what mood I'm in. See, it was a time, and I'm gonna just do this real brief. Um, when you say watch a good movie, you mean go to the theater or watch it at home? I just need a little bit more detail.
I mean, whatever one is going to lead you to the answer that
Okay.
you're trying to explain.
I believe a lot of people have just watched a good movie at home and ate at home by themselves. But to make it better, I'm gonna go with the going outside situation, just to make it a little better.
All right.
I've done them both. When you spend a good deal of time in your life at times being single, you'll end up doing them both. But I actually enjoyed dining alone because I usually go somewhere where I know the food's good or I'm trying something new. And when I'm alone, I like to learn. I might converse and meet new people and have conversations and stuff like that. In a movie, you have to be quiet. So I've done them both. I've went to the movies by myself, and I've went and ate by myself. And when I went to eat by myself, I always sat at the bar. It's just easier. So
Absolutely.
dine.
Dine?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren?
That's not easy. I'm gonna tell you why that's not easy.
I'm trying to keep it from not being too far left, brother. That's why I'm asking.
Nah. Let me tell. No, great question. No, when I say that's not easy, that's a great question. That's what I mean by that, bro.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it's not easy is because I would love to talk to my ancestors to kind of see some history of exactly where I come from. The only question that I have, and I know this is not part of Would You Rather, when I ask another question, when I go back to that, when I come back, do I go to the present time or do I start at birth again with the knowledge of speaking to my ancestors? Well, not even at birth, because at birth we're like 10 years old, and I still have the knowledge of my ancestors. Now, going to see my great-great-great-grandkids, I'm just teaching them about being their own person and understanding finances and understanding that financial literacy is the key to life. Don't let them tell you that everything is about a college education, because you got a lot of smart dummies with degrees. You know what I mean? So if I had to choose, I'm not disappointed with my life. My great-great-grandkids, I would want them to be good.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. It's funny how you just put that into that perspective, because it's like the encounter would be so overwhelming, because chances are if you're meeting your great-great-grandkids, that means that your children are gone. And without it being, it's almost sound like a movie that somebody need to make. It would be definitely very different. You know.
But even if you go back and see your ancestors, just to piggyback off with you, I mean, your parents ain't even born yet.
Right, and I mean, I guess if I have to analyze that though, then I know that that future is still in existence as just as much as the past of going into the future to meet the great great grands.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The difference is you're only going to go back a generation or so anyway. You can't go back so far anyway.
And you're only
Right?
going to either deliver some research or get some.
Well, I think you do both. I don't. I
Right.
don't. I mean, because even if I'm going to meet my great great grands, they're going to teach me everything about that time. I'm not going to know anything about that time. So there's that works both ways, either way. Um,
Imagine a blast. What's the next
right.
question?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna move on. Would you rather have more money or more time?
Hold on, 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 hold on.
You all right? Is everything okay, man?
Yeah,
So, yeah,
almost
get your
broke
life.
it. Almost
Get your
broke
life
it.
together. Get your life together.
Who you talking to, man?
I'm talking to you,
Who's
brother.
you talking to,
Get
man? Would
get
you
your life
rather?
together, man.
Would you rather keep going, man?
I already gave you the question.
I didn't hear it because I
I
did
know
something
you were
wrong.
still focused. You were
I
still
did something
focused
wrong. I
on.
snatched the headphones off.
You were still focused on future blast. Would you rather have more money? That's all right, or more time?
More time. Time is the true riches, man. As long as I'm alive, I can produce. I've noticed that. In my 40 years in life, I've never went without. So I know I'm an earner and I'm a producer and I'm always win. So just give me more time.
That's it. Would you rather live by Hakuna Matata or
Hakuna
YOLO?
Matata. Or YOLO. I don't even never really understood what Hakuna Matata was.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that over YOLO all day. I lived the YOLO life already.
All
So
right.
now I'm focused on making sure my family good and I to know that I can go and I'm not even saying that I worry every day, but to know that they're okay and I don't have to worry. I'm good.
Would you rather?
Matata.
Yeah, I'm telling you, E. I'm telling you, man. They're gonna drug test the shit out of you one day, man.
Why?
Listen,
I
man.
don't mess with drugs.
All right, man.
Talk like they can listen, you want me peeing a red cup? Good.
No.
I ain't messing with drugs.
Would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader for the rest of your life?
I'm gonna go with Yoda, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Yoda. Yeah.
Would you rather?
Which
would
one you rather do? 'Cause you always give me the monkey shit. What you rather do? Talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader, huh? Which one you want to do?
Well, according to my wife, when I go to sleep at night, before before I lost the weight, I was already breathing like Darth Vader. So I don't think it's a would you rather for that for me, brother. Would you rather have 100 duck-sized elephants or one elephant-sized duck? Would you rather have 100 duck-sized elephants or one elephant-sized duck?
Give me one elephant-sized duck, man. I don't need 100. Why 100? Who the fuck want 100 pets?
Hey,
Like,
you ready, E man? I got you. Would you rather be insulted by Gordon Ramsay? You know who Gordon Ramsay is?
yes.
All right. For 10 seconds or receive unlimited text messages from Donald Trump for 10 days?
Gordon Ramsay, man. Nah, that DT shit might be funny as hell, man, because I'm going to argue with him.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
Oh,
Donald
man.
Trump because I can answer him at my leisure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have your own mode of transportation? Be a donkey or a giraffe?
They say a giant standing on a midget's shoulders can't. They say the midget standing on a giant's shoulders can't see much further than the giant. So I got the whole world trying to see further
What you
than
doing?
higher.
What you doing? Donkey or giraffe, brother?
Fuck a donkey. I'm never messing with a donkey. You know what I mean?
Would,
Unless she got that whack up.
would you rather be a clown who distracts the bull or the cowboy who rides the bull?
Distraction. Cause I'm gonna make it out. I'm not bitch that cowboy gonna get fucked up regardless. There's no way he's guaranteed to almost get whiplash or crack his neck. The clown could make it out.
All right, all right, man. All right, I'm trying to give. I gotta give you at least one or two more, man. We'll get out of it this week, man. All right. No, we already did. No. I want something good, y'all. I gotta dig deep in the mental road. I gotta do some real research here. Some real research.
He doing real research, y'all.
I gotta do some real.
What you done did to your mic? There you go. Your phone ringing over there?
Man, what is going on?
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm trying. Yeah, man. Anyway, let me look for one real quick, brother.
Right.
Let me look for one, y'all. We might have to fade out of it this week because all right.
If you
I
ain't
went
got
through
it,
a lot
I
of
got
them
it.
already. I can't. Come on, y'all. Come on.
We gonna fade, bro. Don't worry about it. We gonna fade. That was a good. Let me just gonna take us with the fade. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, fade us out.
That was another episode of Would You Rather. Let's get it back to the show. So before we fade completely up out of here on this episode, I want y'all to know, man, 82 episodes in, before we started episode 1, we did our research. Well, I did mine because I had a vision on how I wanted the show to look. And I know P did his.
Hey,
And
man, I apologize for how the show ended that week, man. This week, man, with the Would You Rathers, man.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Nah, I'm just really gonna get to the point anyway, because it's time. It's really time to fade. But I want everybody to know I did my research on how I had the vision. P did his research on how he wanted it to go, and we brung it together. And it's a beautiful thing where you could take both of your thing, you could take both of your research, bring it together, and create something special. And we've been doing this now for 82 weeks straight.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Clap it up.
So all my new people who probably just listening for the first time, right? You can hear all 82 episodes. When I say all 82 episodes on your favorite streaming podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible. Catch us on all of them. And of course, all 82 episodes is on the Porch Podcast channel on YouTube. P, fade us up out of here. Tell them what you want to tell them. Grow with them.
Hey, man, listen, man. Ain't nothing wrong with research in life, like we say each and every week, man. You need to learn something new every day. Make sure you don't, in the process of analyzing or learning your research, that you don't develop paralysis by analysis. It's always good to know things, man. You never know who you can help, like I say each and every week, and impact in a positive way. But too much of anything they say isn't good for you, and sometimes not enough, can be the difference between you making steps in the right direction and in the wrong direction.
What you don't know will hurt you.
And it's a possibility. So look, man, as we've been doing our research, we appreciate y'all researching your favorite brothers from the porch each and every week and analyzing and checking us out. Like he said, however you've been doing it, just know that we appreciate you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As I said in a previous episode, we got some personal pages. We have our, Instagram pages, our Facebook pages. We have our own individual YouTube channels. Recently just started one with the wife, Raining Rainies on the Rise. I'd
Right.
love for you guys to be able to support that as well.
Definitely.
Definitely appreciate you guys as we say each and every week and look forward to the next one. This has been episode number 82, Research. Appreciate y'all, man. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.